What's going on, everyone? Justin of Undead Gaming here. Today I am here with starting my top 5 PS3 games. So, same rules will apply as the multi-console. I'm only counting base game, and I'm not going to count online content as well. And at number 5 we have Heavy Rain. Now the number 5 spot came close to me between a few games. So there was Little Big Planet 2, which I really thought about, but what do we remember more of the Little Big Planet games? The community created stuff or the main game? And for a lot of people it's the community created, as well as myself. The main game they didn't really do a lot to keep me interested in going when I can just go to the community stuff, which some of that stuff was actually better, and it was also more variety. And then there was The Last of Us, which I do not like that game. I haven't really talked about it, why I don't like it, so it might be a video on the Why I Hate series. I don't know yet. So number 5 is Heavy Rain. Now, I'm sort of doing the same thing I did with what I talked about Until Dawn in my Games of the Year video, and which I don't plan on doing another one of those. I didn't really like the way it turned out, so anyways, why is Heavy Rain at number 5? Now, this game is very heavily story driven, and it's sort of tough to go through on your first run because it's super depressing. Like, I mean, this is depressing as all hell at the very beginning. So you have 4 different characters you play as here. There's Ethan, Madison, Norman, and Scott Shelby. And this game also revolves around the Origami Killer, which I'm pretty sure if you've watched one of the hundreds of people who have fully played this game on YouTube, you already know who the killer is. So basically, they're going after the Origami Killer in their own way. Ethan's son is kidnapped by the Origami Killer, has to go through these trials to figure out where his son is so he can save him. Scott Shelby is a private eye hired by the parents of the previous victims to find out the identity of the Origami Killer. Madison Page is a reporter who sort of meets up with Ethan and is sort of along for the ride there, kind of helping him out. She's a reporter, I don't know if I mentioned that. And Norman Jaden is an FBI agent brought in to investigate the scene of the previous victim of the Origami Killer, to help try to capture him, to make sure that him or her that this doesn't happen again. So again, this game is super depressing. There is a PS4 re-release, and this game actually has sort of an interesting note that I would sort of like to talk about. I know I said I was going to rule out DLC, but I sort of feel like I have to talk about this. There was actually supposed to be DLC for kind of an origin piece of each of the characters. And the only one that got released was Madison's, since with the taxidermist DLC, which I've actually yet to play through it. I thought about playing through that for this video, but I didn't really want to because that's DLC, and I said in these I'm ruling out DLC. I'm only judging these on base game alone because that's really all you're gonna get unless you get the director's cut version. But anyway, the other DLCs were scrapped because around the time they were working on it, Sony had released the PlayStation Move, which I do have, and if I can find a way to set it up, I'll definitely do some PlayStation Move games. Some of these, I actually am one of the few gamers who actually enjoys motion control games. I know that's going to label me as casual, but they're enjoyable to break out from time to time, especially at parties with friends. Watching them trying to watching a bunch of people who have no rhythm at all trying to dance is hilarious. So, but we'll see what happens in the future if I can do some sort of setup to do PlayStation Move games or even Connect games. I don't know yet. So the DLCs were actually scrapped so they could work on Move compatibility, as you can see by the Switch 2 motion controller. Which, I'll be honest, if this game were full PlayStation Move, because I've played it through both ways. I've played it through the regular PS3 controller and the PlayStation Move controller. If this would have been just full on PlayStation Move, this wouldn't be on this list, because the PlayStation Move was not made for this game. It was actually made later, so maybe this game could have been different. It was made fully with PlayStation Move from the ground up, but overall, it's just barely out a spot in the number 5. So thanks for listening to me ramble. God damn it, I've been messing up on words so much. I called a fire hydrant a fire extinguisher in my multi-console list in Saints Row 2. So yeah, thanks for listening, and